how many touches he's going to get, because he's basically third in the pecking order as far as getting receptions, behind Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not a bad start there. So at his flex position, he has Josh Jacobs for Oakland, the running back for Oakland. Which is not a bad person to have at your flex, really.
I wish I had him as my flex.
I know, right?
But Josh Jacobs, he just goes after it.
Yeah.
He showed me that no matter what defense he goes up against, he will inflict punishment. So after what I seen what he did against Chicago, especially over in London, I was like, yeah, he got it. He got the whole package. It's just a matter of him staying healthy.
Yeah, true. And this week, he's going against Jacksonville. So Jaguars' defense hasn't been that strong as they were, I think, last year or the year before. So he should be able to get his. Okay. So let's move on to the defense. You got Pittsburgh defense facing Buffalo defense. So I'm guessing that's why he's not starting Josh Allen. That's probably one reason why.
It's definitely not a bad idea why you would bench him, especially if you got Pittsburgh's defense.
Okay.
So you never know. Maybe he probably decided to pick up a different defense at the last minute. But Pittsburgh defense right now, they are playing great. As of right now, they're playing great. I do not see a reason why he would want to switch them up, because I think that they will put on a pretty good performance Sunday night.
Okay. All right. I respect that. So his kicker is Matt Gay for Tampa Bay. That's a very good kicker, especially with what's his name, James Winston throwing the ball. James Winston is a weird quarterback. Like he'll get you down the field, but he just might throw a pick once you get down there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly to the extent of how prepared Winston will become Sunday, considering I think he did break one of his digits in his throwing hand or his offhand, but if he can get the ball downfield somehow with Chris Godwin, then I can see Matt Gay getting some points.
True.
But most likely Mike Evans won't be playing this week, or most likely the rest of the season, so they're going to be down to basically 3 receivers. So most likely he might end up looking for his tight ends a little bit more often, since he's not going to have Mike Evans. So we'll definitely see what happens.
We will. Okay. All right. Cool. Anything else you want to add on Dub team? Any special notes?
One player that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to is Darius Slayton. Go up against the Dolphins this Sunday. And one thing I say about Darius Slayton, he is definitely one of those rookies that has stepped up this year. He definitely stepped up. He's shown over the past half of the season that he can get busy. He may not be like one of those top receivers in the league. He may not be like Kenny Galladay or Chris Godwin, but he's showing that he can put up points. Over his last 4 games, including that playoff game, he relatively basically had one bad game, which was against Green Bay. And I'll take that bad game if it could get you 4 points. But against the Jets and Phillies defense, man has been on tear.
Fact.
So definitely going to have to look out for him. Not only just in the playoffs, but definitely for next season as well.
Okay. All right. Let me write that down. All right. So we finished up team. Let's go on to my team. I'm not gonna ask you that much question on my team. I'll let you just go through it, and then just say your pointers, and then that'll be it. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm picking your brains just so I can see who to start on my team. But I'm pretty confident with my starters. I've looked at my bench, and I'm confident with the people I have starting. So go ahead, you could go ahead and run through my team.
All right, so Jimmy Garoppolo and Emmanuel Sanders going up against Atlanta. It's going to be the 4:30 slot. I expect the 49ers to definitely light up the scoreboard. So my thinking is if you can basically put up more than 40 points against New Orleans and win on the road, you should not have a problem putting up at least 25 versus Atlanta. You should not. So I expect Garoppolo and Emmanuel Sanders to definitely put some points up. Probably not going to be the same as last week because that is definitely hard to duplicate, but you never know. But as far as Nick Chubb going against Arizona's defense on the road, I expect Nick Chubb to definitely get his points, but I also have to temper expectations since Kareem Hunt has been picking it up over the last few weeks.
True.
Chris Carson going up against Carolina. Since he's going to be the only one left in the backfield, he will be getting majority, if not all, of the carries. So he's going to have a pretty busy day. Tyreek Hill going up against Denver. Now, Denver, even though the record may say that they're not going to make the playoffs, they still have a pretty good defense. So Tyreek Hill, you never know. It's either he's going to get more than 15 points or he's going to end up getting 5 or close to 10. It's really going to come down to the flow of the game. So it's just a matter of whether they decide they're going to start throwing the ball deep early and try to, get Denver's defense off their toes and on their heels. So I don't know. This is probably out of all the receivers, this is probably one of those wild cards that I'm going to be looking at. But I'm not going to count out Tyreek Hill for anything because I know exactly what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that Jared Cook is definitely healthy, so most likely he will be playing Monday night. But I do expect Jared Cook to definitely play consistently as he has been. A little bit to my surprise because I did not expect him to be this consistent. I don't think anybody did. Since week 5, he has scored no less than 7 points.
Yep. The funny thing about Jared Cook is I got him off waiver wire, and I was looking at him because I think who had Jared Cook? I think it was is this your team? Fryer team had Jared Cook, and then he ended up dropping them, for the fact that he had Austin Hooper, and I'm like, I know nobody's looking at Jared Cook, but I see what Jared Cook can do. This nigga, his quarterback is Drew Brees. He's gonna get his. So I just want to say thank you to everybody in the league for letting me get Jared Cook.
Well, in all fairness, before week 5, he has basically haven't done anything. So the fact that you picked him up while he was at his lowest value was a very good investment that's paying dividends for your team.
True.
Now, if he was been playing that consistently throughout the whole season, I'm pretty sure there's no way he's going to end up on the waiver wire. But
True.
This is how fantasy football works. You may be hot, you may be cold for one quarter of the season. The next year, they start catching fire and becoming very consistent. We've seen this a lot with a lot of players. So kudos to you for not only playing him, but sticking with him throughout the rest of the season, because there could have been games that even you could have benched him against certain matchups, but you stuck with it. But one thing that I will say about Jared Cook, as far as his consistency, the games that he hasn't scored more than 9 points was the games that he didn't score a touchdown, which is only 2 weeks. But every other week, he basically scored. So going against Indianapolis Monday night, I expect him to get at least 8 points. He may not get 18 like he did last week because that was just crazy in itself. But I expect him to either match Hunter Henry's production or exceed it by a few points.
Okay. I agree with that.
Amari Cooper going up against the Rams defense. He's going to have a busy day going up against Jalen Ramsey. He will have a busy day. But I still believe that he can get no less than 5 points against that Rams defense. Because I don't think that they're going to just leave him on one side of the field the whole game. That they're going to move him around, most likely in the slot, maybe to the left, a little bit to the right, so that way they can feed him the ball a little bit more and try to get some production as far as the offense is concerned. Because if you don't feed Amari Cooper, you're going to have a long day, because I'm not going to expect Michael Gallup to be the main receiver every week. Maybe 1 week, but especially when they're trying to make the playoffs, especially how Dallas has been playing, they're going to need their stars to come out and show up. So I expect Amari Cooper to get a lot of targets. It's just going to be a matter of what he's going to turn them into. And as far as Justin Tucker, unfortunately, he wasn't able to pitch in as he would like, considering the Ravens did put up 42 points.
I know.
But it just means that if your team is only scoring touchdowns, that means that at most you're only going to be able to get 1 point on the board for extra points that's made. So as great as Justin Tucker was, he's probably one of those kickers that you probably wouldn't want on your fantasy team, because all the Ravens do is just score touchdowns, and the fact that they're very efficient in the red zone, so it's kind of like he's not getting a lot of production. It's not saying he's a bad kicker, it's just that you're going to be more inclined to go after a kicker that you know that a certain offense is not going to score as often in the red zone.
True. Okay. You didn't touch on the Kansas City defense.
Kansas City defense, this one's going to be a wild card, considering Drew Lock has been playing pretty well. Now, keep in mind, he's still a rookie, and it's probably going to be his third start going into this week. So, don't get me wrong, he is going to produce, but it's going to come down to what we're going to get from him. Is it going to be what he put against Houston, or is he basically going to blink and he's going to end up throwing 2 or 3 picks? We don't know.
That's what I'm hoping.
But, oh yeah, if I'm going up against a rookie quarterback, I'm hoping he throws 3 picks. But at the end of the day, we don't know. We're just going to have to find out. But I'm sure Kansas City should get no less than 3 points coming into this week.
Okay. I respect that. All right, cool. Any key notes you want to add on my team?
As far as key notes, Latavius Murray has definitely been getting a lot more touches than what I expected, especially within the last few weeks. I don't know whether it's the fact that Alvin Kamara, they're kind of like saving him for the playoffs, or they're just basically going with whoever has the hot hand, because it's looking like Latavius Murray has probably been the most efficient runner basically throughout the whole season. And they're probably just giving Kamara more touches as far as receptions go. But Latavius Murray, I definitely do like him. Now, if he was just basically by himself, he will be an automatic starter. But and this New Orleans type of offense, at best he'll be a flex. But due to the uncertainty as far as how the touch is going to be distributed, it's someone that I can't fully trust. But Another player that I'm going to be looking at is definitely Robert